let me just make a few comments, and then I'm going to turn it over to Clara Campbell with the Texas Retail Association. So much is happening and has happened over the last several days, really in the last 24 hours. One of the key messages that we want to make today, right off the top, is that the grocery stores in the city of Houston, in our area, the grocery stores are not shutting down. So let me just be very clear. Let me just say that from the very beginning. Grocery stores are not shutting down. The grocery stores will remain open to service the people in our region. So the grocery stores are not shutting down. Let me be very, very clear on that. The second point that I want to emphasize is that there is no issue. There is no issue. There is no problem with the food supply chain. So I want to emphasize that. We're not running out of items for our grocery stores. So there is no problem with our food supply chain. In fact, there's no problem even with sanitizers, things of that nature. It's just that people are purchasing quite a bit, and then they simply have to go and restock. So point number two, no problem with the food supply chain. There's plenty available, and so we're dealing with that. Now, they are restricting or limiting their hours in order to restock, to put the items back on the shelf, but no problem with the food supply chain. So as my dad would say, when you had 9 kids in a family, he wanted us all to sit at the table at the same time, but only 5 could sit at the table at one time. He wanted us all in the house, and he would say, 5 of you go and sit at the table and eat, and then after he thought you had been at the table long enough for you to eat, he would come and tap you on the shoulder, say, you've been there long enough. The rest of you kind of get up. It's time for the others to come to the table. But he always emphasized, there's no reason to rush because Mom has prepared enough food. So you don't have to rush, okay? It's going to be okay. The same principle, I think, is apropos right now. No need to rush into the stores as if all of the food will be gone and there won't be any left to restock. No problem with the food supply chain, and they will be able to restock the shelves. The other point is that water in the city of Houston is safe. So I want to constantly reemphasize that the water in the city is safe. You can use it, and you will be okay. And then I would say to you, point number 4 for me is buy what you need. Just buy what you need and be sensitive to the needs of others. And if I can underscore this, especially as it relates to first responders and to our healthcare workers, because they're working all times of hours to take care of everybody else. So be sensitive, buy what you need, but be sensitive to the needs of others. Now, I know there are a lot of people, as I've said the other day, that are going in and buying up all this stuff. They're just buying a whole lot. Those people are not Houstonians. They're not from our city. They're visitors, right? Because Houstonians, we just don't operate that way. So please tell these visitors, you don't have to buy all of that stuff. Buy what you need. In Houston, there is more to be placed on the shelves, okay? So buy what you need. And then the last point, I think number 5 for me, is that because there's so much business with our grocers, so much business, they are hiring. And so for a lot of our day workers, for example, who may be losing their jobs, or may be laid off temporarily, hey, the grocery stores, the chains, they are hiring. So that's the point that I want to make. Right now, we want to focus on the food supply chain, because people have just been going in at a rapid rate and buying up everything. We want to assure people that there is no problem with the food supply chain. Stores, regardless of CDC's announcement, grocery stores are not shutting down. They are not closing. And I think one of the big indicators when we say there's no problem with the food supply chain is that they're hiring. And certainly they would not be hiring people if they thought that they were going to be running out of food. That kind of goes, that's the antithesis of the other. If you're going to run out of food, why hire people and bring them on for one day or 1 week? So I think that to me is a very positive statement is that when all of these grocers are saying they are needing more people, and you only need more people if you have more supply. And if you got the supply and you want to get it out, you need the people to get it out. So that, to me, is a very, very positive and strong statement that people can take some degree of confidence in. Regardless of what's being said, CDC and other things, the grocery stores are not closing. They are staying open, and they will have the food for them. Houston has always been a pace setter and a leader. Let's show the rest of the country how we conduct business in the moments of a crisis like this. And then let's show the rest of the country, rest of the world, that even in a crisis, we are thoughtful and sensitive to the needs of others, that we do not panic. We recognize that grocery stores are not shutting down, that the food supply chain is sound, and there is no reason to just go and form the big lines and try to buy everything at one time. And then bear in mind, like Scott said, this is different from a hurricane, where you can look up on the radar, know when it's coming, know when it's going to hit, and know when it's going to leave. This is totally different. It's one of those crises. It's a different from a hurricane. This one you simply have to manage, and you have to pace yourself, because we're going to be in this situation for the next several weeks, if not several months. So you have to pace yourself. And you don't want to go and spend your entire check, just going to the grocery store, and then 2 weeks from now you may find yourself needing some of those dollars back. So let's just pace ourselves, and we'll get through it. Thank you all very, very much. Appreciate you.